Learning about reported speech. Most of us might have been confused with these terms. Reported speech and indirect speeches are the completely the same terms, while the direct speech is the different one. Direct and indirect and the reported speeches are the same. So now no need to get confused. And so if you get any questions in the future, please do answer it in the reported speech. So where do we use this reported speech? In this lesson, we will be learning about where, when, and how to use these tenses. Yeah, how to use these verbs or the speeches. Reported speech is very important for legal language because it is used in newspaper reports of crimes, investigations, in reports on trials, in judicial procedure. We use most of these kinds of speeches in mostly we use these in the judicial or the legal views points of view. We use these speeches. So next you will see the general rules for using these tenses. Using these speeches. General rule. When the introductory verb say, tell, inform, state, or claim is in the present perfect, or in the future tense, we don't change the verb of the tense. For example, when you can see that there was a sentence which is in the direct speech. He says, "I don't understand this question." So you can see the says is in the present tense. So there will be no change in there are no changes necessary for the change in the sentence. So don't, which is in the present tense, remains as the present tense. He says that he doesn't is also in present tense. Understand this question. So he says that he. Why do we use the verb he? The separate he. This is because I is being referred to he. So we while changing we mentioned that he is referred to that I. So we use the word he here. So we can see the next rule. Second one, when the introductory verb is in the past tense, that is the change is necessary. For we can see here that he said. Said is in the past tense, so the change is very necessary here. This you can see here that I don't understand this question. So this is in the present tense. Do is in the present tense, and don't is the negative form of do. So this is in the present tense. So now we, as it is in the past, he's as said is in the past tense. Now we should change it in with the present past tense. So he said, I don't understand this question, which is in the present tense, is being changed into past tense. He said that he didn't understand that question. Why do we use the word that? This is because this will always change into that. That is a series of lists which I will show in the coming slides on the following slides. So now you can see the same changes of the subject changes here. Okay, takes place here. He is referred to I, so I is referred to he. So we add the subject he instead of I. So the next is the change of tenses. In this, the indirect speeches, there will always be the change in tenses. For example, present tense will always change into past tense. No matter what type of tenses, simple present continuous, present perfect continuous, everything will change into past. For example, some present tense, simple present will change into simple past, simple present continuous will change into simple past continuous, present perfect will change into past perfect continuous will change, present perfect continuous will change into past perfect continuous. So instead of giving all these things, we can learn only one thing. Present will change into past. For example, present perfect will change into past perfect, and past will change into past perfect, and future will change into future continuous. You can the easy way to remember is that you might have learned that flow the chart, right? Simple past. For I'm telling this only for past. Simple past, present past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. So the first comes the past, simple past. So that we should leave the one which is the present continuous and change it to and take this third one which is the past perfect, and present continuous will acquire the present perfect continuous. So it's like a W here. You got here the W. So yeah, I hope you understand this change in tenses. Now we'll see the change of adverb of time and place. No matter or whatever the verbs or the adverbs we get in the direct speech, we must and it's compulsory that we change it in the reported speech. The change of the verb takes place. For example, yesterday becomes the day before, because now I am speaking to a person, and I am the first person, and I am speaking to the second person, and the second person is speaking to the third person. What does it mean? This means that what I am conveying to the second person is being conveyed to the third person. So the third person will hear me saying to him as the past. For example, I am telling to my friend in the the present tense, and my present tense and my second friend tells to the third person in the past. Why? Because which was in the present has changed over the time into the past tense. So this is why we use the change in tenses. Now, Yesterday changes into the day before because I tell you that I went there yesterday, and you tell your friend that I, that means me, where I went there the day before, because you're not referring to yourself, you're referring to the first person, which is me. So in this case, the tomorrow will change into the following day, the next day will change into the following day, and the week will change into the following week. Today will change into that day, and here will change into that. And the previous example, we also saw that this will change into that. So you must always remember the changing tenses. You can also get a clear view of in my website if you want. I can, if you ask in the comment box, I will surely give you the full table if you want. So the next comes the change of imperatives. Imperatives are nothing but commands, warnings, requests. These all are imperatives. So for example, for all the imperatives, we use the verb to infinitive. Okay. So for example, he said, direct speech. He said, go home. He is commanding a person to go home. So he's commanding. In this case, he is commanding me to go home. So I tell to another person. Another person. He told me. Why do we use the word told here? This is because we told. Actually, there's another slide for this, but I'm saying in a bit advanced. Told is used because you're referring to a person who's telling you. We can also use say, but say or said is used when you're not referring to a person. For example, we are referring to he, so we are telling that he told me. He told me. We are referring to me, so we are using tell. Told. Told is the past form of tell. So to go. Why do we use to go? This is because it is a command. We are for all every command imperatives and a request for every command warnings and request. We use the word to infinitive. Means here to go. So stay in the bed for a few days. The doctor comes to my home and in this case I'm ill, okay, and the doctor comes to my home and says that stay in the bed for a few days. So he's commanding or requesting me or warning me to stay in the bed for few days. So in this case, I must use the word told and to infinitive. If, as in the previous case, we saw that here we use the word told and to go. So in this case too, we should use the word told and to stay. So this, I hope you understood this one also. And don't shout. I said to Jim. In this case, he's commanding. I am commanding Jim not to shout. So in this case, I'm telling him we should always use the to. As I already told you guys, we should use the word told and to infinitive, shout and to shout. So I told him not to shout, and since it is in negative form, we are using the word not, because don't is in the negative form, so we are using not. So I hope you understood this example too. As we move forward, we will see the change of questions. There are so many type of questions in English grammar. Some of them are WH questions, yes or no questions, DS questions, RS questions. But in most of the cases, we often use WH questions and yes or no questions. In most of the exam patterns, also they ask about WH questions and yes or no questions. WH questions are nothing but the when, where, how, why, and these are WH questions. And yes or no questions are those questions whose answer you get in yes or no. For example, I ask you, did you eat a food? So you tell yes or no. So these are yes or no questions. I ask you, did you sleep? You tell yes or no. You don't give any reason for that, right? So these are yes or no questions. But in WH questions, you give some reasons. Okay. So next is that where do you say and if you want say, if you say who you are talking to, you should. For example, okay, I am telling that I told to somebody. So for example, here Sonia told me. So in this case, Sonia is referring to me. Okay, so there are two persons, Sonia and me. So we are using the word told. Where did you tell the police? In this case, you and police, two others, so there are two persons, so we use the word tell. We can also use say, but it is more appropriate to use tell. And in this case, another example, Sonia said that you were ill. In this case, why do we use say? Because only Sonia is there. Okay, so we use the word say. Say, past said is a past form of said. Say, so said is a past form of say, so we use said. Sonia is only single person, so we use say. And where did you say? What did you say? So in this case, the only one is the you, so we use say. But you can say something to somebody. Anna said goodbye to me and left. For some cases, we can use say, but it is more appropriate to use them in for. Now I'll tell the clear reason that say is used for only one person, and told is used for two persons. Two persons. Okay. The next is the exercises. I have got three exercises over here. You can pause the video one by one for each exercise and do this exercise and let me know in the comment box. If you like this video, please do subscribe and do like and share. The all answers must be, if you like this, if you understood this lesson completely, please do complete this exercise and send me the answers in the comment box. And don't forget to send your email ID so that I can proceed and give the further notification in your email ID, and I can give the further questions in your email ID. And these are the questions. In this case, in this case, you should write what is the. It's like an optional questions. You can write the one which is given up. You should put it down in these sentences. And the next is the where do you say until. I have already told that is used for two persons and say is used for one person. Okay. And if you like this video, please do like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.